Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to discuss an important concept in lean manufacturing called waste elimination. Waste elimination is the process of identifying and removing activities that consume time, money, materials, or manpower but do not add value to the customer. The main goal of the lean manufacturing is to maximize value while minimizing waste. And this video, and I will explain the what are the waste in there in lean manufacturing. So let's start about this video. So what is waste? So waste elimination in lean manufacturing. So waste elimination is one of the most important principles of lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing is a systematic approach that focuses on maximize customer value while minimizing waste. The main objective is to produce high quality product with the least amount of resource, time, effort, and cost. In lean manufacturing, any activity that consumes resources but does not add value to the customer is considered as waste. By identifying and eliminating waste, organization can improve productivity, reduce cost, increase quality, and enhance customer satisfaction. Then what is waste? What is waste? Waste refers to any activity. Waste refers to any activity, process, materials, or resources that does not add value to the final product from the customer perspective. This activity increases cost and lead times without improving product quality. In lean manufacturing, identifies 80 major types of waste, commonly known as 80s waste of lean. So 80s, the 80 waste of lean manufacturing one by one I will discuss. So I think before time you heard about that 7S and now 8S. 8S first one is I think before time 7S. 7S means team move. Transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, defense. And now 8S. 8S one more is unused skill. Then okay, leave it. Let's start about the first one is transportation. So transportation waste occurs when the material, product, or information are moved unnecessary from one location to another location. That is transportation waste. Example: excessive movement of raw materials between departments, unnecessary transportation of product within the factory. Effects: increased handling cost, higher risk of product damage, longer production waste. Then second one is inventory waste. Then second one is inventory waste. Inventory waste refers to having more raw materials, work in progress, or finished good than required. Example: excess stock stored in warehouses, producing product before they are needed. Effects: what will effects in the increased storage cost, risk of damage or obsolescence, reduced cash flow. Then motion. Motion waste involves unnecessary movement of people, equipment, or machinery during work activities. Then third one is motion. So motion waste involves unnecessary movement of people's equipment or machinery during the work activities. Example: worker working long distances to collect the tools, reaching, bending, or searching for materials repeatedly. Effects: worker fatigue, reduce productivity, increase risk of injury. Then fourth one is waiting. Waiting. Waiting waste occurs when workers waiting waste occurs when worker, machine, or materials are idle due to delay in the production process. Example: waiting for materials to arrive, machine downtime due to the maintenance issue, delay in approval or inspection. Effects: increased lead time, lower productivity, missed delivery schedules. Then overproduction. Fifth one, overproduction is producing more product than needed or producing them earlier than required. Example: manufacturing products without customer demand. Manufacturing product without customer demand. Producing large batches unnecessarily. Effects: excess inventory, high storage cost, increased risk of obsolete products. That type of problem is there. Then Over-processing. Over-processing occurs when more work is performed on a product than what the customer requires. Over-processing occurs when more work is performed on a product than what the customer requires. Example: unnecessary inspection, using expensive processes where simple using expensive process where simpler method will be sufficient. Effects: increased production cost, longer processing time, waste resources. And seventh one is defects. Defect waste includes error, repair, and scrap resulting from poor quality. Example: manufacturing defect products, reworking product due to quality issue. Effects: increased cost, customer dissatisfaction, loss of reputation. Then unused human talent. Then 8 one. So unused human talent. Unused human talent. The waste occurs when the employee's skills, knowledge, and creativity are not fully utilized. Example: ignoring employee suggestion for improvement, assigning skilled worker to simple repetitive tasks. Effects: reduced innovation, lower employee morale, missed improvement opportunity. Benefit of the waste elimination. Elimination of waste provides several advantages. Elimination of waste provides several advantages. Reduce production cost, reduce production cost, improve product quality, increase productivity and efficiency, faster delivery times, better utilization of resources, higher customer satisfaction, improve employee engagement, increase profitability and competitiveness. The tool used for waste elimination. The tools used for waste elimination. In a lean manufacturing uses several tools to identify and eliminate waste. And first one is a 5S system: sort, set, inner, assign, standardize, exhaustion. This method helps to maintain an organized and efficient workplace. Then second one is the Kaizen, continuous improvement. Kaizen encourages employee to continuously identify and implement small improvement process. Then value stream mapping. So VSM helps visualize the entire production process and identify non-valued activities. Then JIT, just in time. JIT ensures the materials and the products are produced only when they needed, reducing inventory waste. Then fifth one is Kanban. Kanban uses a visual signal to control production flow and prevent overproduction. Root cause analysis. And tools such as the 5 why and fishbone diagram helps to identify root causes of problems and prevent occurrences. Then conclusion. Waste elimination is the foundation of lean manufacturing. by identifying and removing non-value-added activities. Organization can improve efficiency, reduce cost, enhance product quality, and increase customer satisfaction. The successful implementation of waste elimination creates a culture of continuous improvement and helps organization achieve long-term operational excellence. So simple presentation process plan. Waste elimination in lean manufacturing means identify and remove all activity that do not add value to the customer. By eliminating e-waste, transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, defects, and unused human talent. Organization can improve productivity, reduce cost, enhance quality, and achieving continuous improvement. And this is the my first part of this waste elimination. In this and the second part, I will explain that one by one in details. Uh, let's start about the part 2. And this is the my part 2 video, waste elimination of waste. Elimination of waste. There are different types of waste in the lean manufacturing and how to eliminate it. That is the most important things in current situation. So content of an operation. So value added work. The part of the job the customer wants to pay. That is the value added work. Non-value added or hidden waste. Work that does not add value, but it is necessary under the current operating condition. That is non-value added or hidden waste. Obvious waste. Work that does not add value and it is not necessary. And it is work that does not add value and it is not necessary. Then what is value added work? Then what is value added work? Work that increases the value of the part. Work that increases the value of the part. That is that which changes the feed form or function. That is the value added work. Example: pressing, bending, cutting, drilling, form, welding, paint, forging, rolling, pointing, heat treatment, plate, glue, assembly. That is the value added work. Polishing is the maximize the activities. Then what is hidden waste? What is hidden waste? What is hidden waste? Work that does not add value but it is necessary under the current operating condition. Tool changeover, inspection, part handling, unavoidable transportation parts, unwrapping of the parts purchased. Minimize the waste. So it is required, but you can try to minimize this waste. Then what is obvious waste? What is obvious waste? Work that does not add value and it is not necessary, like Timur, overproduction, waiting, transportation, process, inventory, operator movement, defects. Eliminate these waste as soon as possible. Then seven waste. First one is overproduction. Overproduction. So making more than the customer needs. Making more than the customer needs. Making in large batches. Overrunning an unstable process to produce more than is required. To produce before required by external or internal customer. My second waste is waiting. My second waste is waiting. Man or machine waiting. Waiting for material, waiting for maintenance, waiting for tool change, waiting for quality change, waiting for next session, waiting for quality checks, non-value added work in cycle, operator inactivity during cycle, machine inactivity during cycle. Then transportation, materials or parts movement. seven was then transportation. The third one, material or parts movement. Unnecessary moving or handling of parts, handling equipment, moving with no parts, raw material batch sizes, not matching with production batch sizes, material stored a long way from point to point of use. Then another wastage process. Inefficient process, wrong choices of equipment, bad definition of customer needs, useless operations, excessive movement in process cycle, too frequent inspection, excessive setup or downtime, slow complicated processes, useless refinement, bottlenecks, unbalanced process. Then another waste is inventory, large stockpile of finished good, high WP, high raw materials, excessive racking or warehouse space, excessive handling equipment, and just in time, just in case. So type of waste, one more is waste is Inventory. Inventory console problems makes control difficult and obscures the opportunity for improvement. Delay action in dealing with the faults and defects reduces need to face up to fast tool changeover, conceal the imbalance in facility capability. Goods can become damaged or obsolete, creates unnecessary searching and movement of materials, conceal excess personal take up space. Inventory first. Then one more waste is operator movement, useless motion, looking for tools or material, etc. Double handling, turning, bending, stretching, working, etc. Then one more defects. One more wastage defects. Less than perfect parts. Scrap, river, recall, delay due to defects, transportation due to defects, reinspection, and sorting. Then what is obvious waste? These are the obvious waste where the does not added value and it is not necessary for the lean manufacturing. So overproduction of waiting transportation process. These types of waste. Eliminate these waste as soon as possible. That that is my part 2 video, and that's all about for the elimination of waste. And the part 3 video, same type, I will explain in Muda and different type of waste like Muda, Muri and Muda. So let's start about to the part 3 video. See that image, then you can understand clearly. Let's start about the Muda, Muri and Muda. There are also enumerating the so many waste are there. First in the content you can see history, what is 3M, the relationship between Muda, Mura and Muri, what is Muda or waste, way to eliminating waste, identify waste in the workplace, 8 types of Muda or waste, memory tips to remember Mura and Muri. So let's start. History. History. So 3M is considered a key concept in the Toyota production system (TPS). The 7 waste are categorized of unproductive manufacturing practices identified by Tizio Ono, the father of the Toyota production system. Tizio Ono, the father of the Toyota production system. The term Muda, and Muri, waste uneveness and overburden, are actually not an invention by Toyota, and they were used in Japanese material art long before Toyota. In material arts, excess movements of patty in material arts, excess movement in a fight is a waste. Since it is the tires that athlete and leaves him open for an attack. Similarly, an uneven and unnatural movement of thoughts and unnatural stance will delay your action. Finally, trying to do too much at the same time and using a technique that we have not yet mastered in overorder. Then what is 3M? What is 3M? So Muda is any activity that does not consume resources without creating the value for customer. Muri. Muri overburden either in the process, machinery and peoples. Muri can be avoided through standardization of work. Mura. Mura is inconsistency in business operation caused by either lack of standard or when poor standards are followed. Relationship between Mura and Muri. Mura and Muri are interrelated. Eliminating one of them will affect the other two. For example, a farm that needs to transport 8 ton of material to a customer has several operations. Truck capacity maximum 4 tons. Then Muri means overburden. One truck with 80 tons, it would be considered Muri due to the overburden of the truck. This excess load can lead to a breakdown. Then Mura, unevenness or fluctuation or variation. Two trips, one with 3 ton, other with 5 ton. This would be the considered as a Mura, since the unevenness of the arrival of the material to the customer can lead to problems and receiving the. On the first trip, the delivery may be too little for production necessary on site. On the second trip, the amount of delivery material may be too much for on-site storage and material handling. This leads to Muri since one of the truck is overburdened and the receiver is also overburdened for that delivery. Additionally, Muda can be seen from uneven workload. Uneven workload. These three trips with load of 2 tons on each truck, then Muda West. These three trips load up 2 tons on each truck. Even though those options have no Muri, it has Muda, not fully loaded on each trip. Optimum. What will be optimum? Trucks are carrying the loads at a maximum capacity. There is no excess capacity nor unnecessary trips with this strategy. Mura Mura does not exist because the workload between the two deliveries is uniform. As a result, there is no unevenness. And finally, Muri is absent from this option because both the trucks and these operators are not working beyond their capacity. Then Muda. How often Muda or waste? How often have you used this expression? How often have you used this expression? That was waste of time. That was waste of money. That was waste of effort. Waste of time means waste of time. Just imagine if you could collect all our time together that we have wasted in the past, then how much time would that be? Waste of money. Waste of money, just imagine if you could collect all the money together that we have wasted in the past. How much money would you that be? And wasted effort. So wasted effort, just imagine if you could collect all the effort together that we have wasted in the past. How much effort would be there? So see that image, then you can waste of time, waste of money, waste of effort. You can understand. Then OA2 eliminating, then OA2 eliminating, then OA2 eliminating. Step one is first need to identify what is and is not waste. First need to identify. Second step two, then we can look at way of eliminating, at least reducing waste. Identifying waste in the workplace. So operational activity. Value-added activity or process where the customer is ready to pay money. Any process that changes the nature, shape, or characteristics of the product in line with customer requirement. Example: pressing, welding, heat treatment, cutting, drilling, bending, painting, polishing, etc. There is where you can make a profit. Non-value-added activity are processes where the customer is not willing to pay money were carried out which is necessary under current condition but does not increase product value. Example: inspection, tool changes, maintenance. This is where you make a losses. Then eight types of Muda or waste. Then eight types of Muda or waste. There are two types of Muda, one type and type 2. Type 1 Type 1 includes non-value-added activity in the process that are necessary for the end customer. For example, inspection, safety testing. The safety testing does not directly added value to the final product, and however, they are necessary activity to ensure a safe product for the customer. Non-value added but essential. In addition, these two categories, value added and non-value added, there is a third category of activities, and that is non-value added but essential. They are also called necessary non-value added adding activity, business value adding activity, non-necessary non-value added adding activity, business value adding activity. Then type 2 is includes non-value added activity in the process, but these activities are unnecessary for the customer. As a result, Muda 2 types should be eliminated. There are seven categories of waste under Muda type 2 that follow on the abbreviation TMOVE. The seven wastes are transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, and defects. The seven wastes of lean were originally categorized by Teacher, one of the father of the Toyota production system. He separated the waste he saw into seven categories, which made them easier to identify and eliminate. As such, an eight waste was recognized as in the earlier 2000 waste of human potential or waste of talent. That was 2000 will improve. Then see that image. Types of Muda or eight types of waste. Team transportation, I means inventory, M means motion, W means waiting, O means overproduction, another O means overprocessing, defect, skill, underutilized. Transportation, transportation, transportation. So, meaning of the transport is unnecessary movement of product, machine, and materials within a process. For example, unnecessary moving or handling of parts, poor layout, multiple storage location, equipment movement with no parts, material store a long way from point of use, material store a long way from point of use, raw material batches size not matching production batches size. That is transportation waste. Cause of transportation. So isolated places. Causes of isolated places. Large lot production. Poor process planning with unnecessary step. Single skilled worker sitting to perform operation. need for a transportation system is assumed. How to eliminate transportation? Use a manufacturing cell, flow production, multi-skilled worker, milk can concept, standing to perform operation, higher utilization rate, water vessels, Kanban or production, Kanban or pool production. Inventory, meaning excess material and products are not being processed. Also, insufficient product and materials are processed. Excess material and products are not being processed. Also, insufficient product and materials are proposed. For example, stock of raw material in stores, stockpiles and finished goods, high with excess racking and warehouse space, excessive handling for equipment, waste, that's wasted time, money and inputs. Inventory. Causes of the inventory. Causes of the inventory. Acceptance of inventory as normal as unnecessary with poor equipment layout, long changeover times, defective parts, lack of proper monitoring system, upstream process is too fast for the downstream process, Cisco or large load production, anticipatory production, obstruct flow of goods, production speed not aligned to demand. How to eliminate inventory? Use a manufacturing cell layout to the equipment by process instead of operation, regulating the flow of production, quick changeover operation, production leveling, pool production using Kanban, line balancing. Then motion. Then motion. Unnecessary or repetitive movement of peoples within a process. Unnecessary repetitive movement of peoples within a process. For example, looking for tools or material, double handling, turning, bending, stretching, and working. So it is the waste of time, efforts, and money. Then motion causes isolated operation, low employee morale, instability in operations, sharing of machine and tools, processes are not aligned and result in the motion overhead, poor work layout, undeveloped skills, increase in staff or work hour, work standards are not in place. How to eliminate motion? Gradually switch to flow production, create use cell layout of equipment, increase operator awareness about motion during an operation, increase training, make standardization through separate tool at each workstation. Another one is waiting. People have to wait to start the next step in the process. Uh, Next steps in the process, waiting times of the materials or information flow that cause delay. For example, waiting for a material or resource, waiting for maintenance, waiting for tool changes, waiting for quality check, machine or operator inactive during cycle, support to resolve issue. Also, people waiting for a machine to competitive its cycle, waiting for next station, waiting for next station. Then causes of the motion. Unplanned machine downtimes, long setup and machine changeover times, inadequate staffing, lack of communication tools, time required for rework, poor work layout, absence for work, poor planning and process documentation, less resources. How to eliminate motion? Standardization workflow, create user cell layout of equipment, make resources available, standardizing instruction, training and process, developing multi-skilled human resources. Then another one is overproduction. 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 So overproduction means overproduction that is more than needed or before it is needed. More production than needed or before it is needed. Causes of the overproduction, large lot production, anticipatory production, overrunning and unstable process, unstaffing or too much equipment, machine that turns out bad too quickly, poor planning of production. Overproduction causes of the overproduction. Poor production planning, long setup machine changeover times, lack of communication, excess raw materials. And how to eliminate the overproduction? Overproduction, proper planning, line balancing, one piece flow, pool production using Kanban, quick changeover operation. Level production, small lot or mixed production. Then another one is over processing, doing more work or higher quality work than your customer requires. More work or higher quality work than required by the customer. For example, uh, wrong choice of equipment, frequent inspection, useless operation, unbalanced process, bad definition of customer need, excessive movement in process, excessive setup or downtime, follow. Overprocessing, causes of the overprocessing. Inadequate study of process, inadequate study of operation, ill-situated jigs, incomplete standardization, materials are not studied. How to eliminate overprocess? More appropriate process design, review of operation, improvement of jigs using automation through standardization, promotion of value analysis and value engineering technique. Then defects, reverse scrap and incorrect information. The first time additional effort due to the reverse scrap and incorrect data. For example, scrap, reverse or reject. Recall, delay due to defects. Transportation due to defects. Re-inspection and sorting. That is one more dangerous in Indian manufacturing waste. Defects or rejects. Causes of defects or rejects. Defect, defects and causes of defects. So causes of the defects are emphasize on downstream inspection, no standards for inspection work, omission of standard operation, material handling and transportation, operator error, the lack of sufficient quality control process, missing repair and documentation standard, undocumented design changes, misunderstood customer requirements, raw material not as per required. How to eliminate how to eliminate defects, standard operation, the mistake proofing devices, full lot inspection, flow production, building quality in each process, elimination of need to pick up and set down pieces, improvement of jigs using human automation, promotion of value analysis and value engineering. Unused human talent skills underutilized. Underutilizing or inadequate teammates, talents, skills, and knowledge. For example, not tapping into and following up on the idea and thought of the employee. Underutilization of human potential. Unused human talent, skill underutilized. Causes of defects. Assign employee to the wrong task, tedious administrative work, lack of communication and communication tool, poor management, inadequate training, missing teamwork. How to eliminate defects or rejects? Skill evaluation, education and training, connect with employee, identify hidden skill. Mathematics to remember. Mathematics to remember. So T-modes are home pets. T-modes are home pets. Another meaningless or non-essential activity that would not add value for the product, you can eliminate immediately. In Muda, Muda any kind of unevenness or non-conformity or irregularity while after using meaning mainly for material flow. It also a program in many other causes outside of the material flow. Unevenness in the reception of raw material quantity, variation of the order from the customer, unevenness in the scheduling of the work center, unevenness in product output due to the variation. Example: uneven customer demand, inventory swing from too much to too little, uneven production speed, changing production quantity, uneven quantity of good parts. However, if the part fails, has to scrap it waste, irregular or erratic working within uneven training of the workers, uneven distribution of the work. Muri. Moriji overburden. Moriji overburden. Beyond one power. Say Moriji overburden. Beyond one power. Excessiveness. Impulsive, unreasonable, and things that are too difficult. Naturally, the main focus here is on the people. However, it can apply to materials, machine, and organization. Here are a few examples. People assigning work to an employee more than that you can do. Unsuitable question inadequate organization demanding that the supplier delivery what you want, whatever you want to without proving good unstable signal from outside. Machine and materials. Running a machine more than its designated speed standard. So thank you to everyone for this attention. Then this is my part 3 video and part 4 so sorry part 4 video. So waste analysis, continuous improvement toolkit, waste analysis, how to waste analysis like Muda. Waste analysis. In a lean culture, waste is anything that does not add value from the customer perspective. It includes activities that consume resources but not contribute zero value to the customer. Waste according to Lean are non-value added, unnecessary activities which add to the product or service therefore should be eliminated. Waste according to Lean are non-value added, unnecessary activity which add cost to the product or service that should be eliminated. So waste analysis is one of the core principles of lean thinking that involves identifying, quantifying, eliminating, and preventing waste. It is one of the easiest way an organization can improve its operation. Mainly lean concept and tool focus on continual identifying and eliminating waste. In fact, one of the main objectives of the lean is to remove all form of waste from the value stream. For most company, it is safe to stay focused on the elimination of waste in the earlier year of the lean journey. So total elimination of waste is the basic principle of the Toyota system. And if one cannot understand the basic, correct understanding of the whole in the impossible. So much of the focus in Lean and Kaizen is one of the identification and removal of waste, and this waste may exist in the value streaming process or facility. Benefits of the waste analysis. Benefit: save money and gain a competitive advantage, improve morale and pride in the workplace, reduce lead time and defect rates, improve productivity, flexibility, quantity and safety, bring efficiency and effectiveness to the existing processes. As a result, products and services that will better meet customers' expectations. The nice thing about focusing on the waste is that the benefits are immediately visible, which will get the people to invest in the lean intellectually or emotionally. Waste analysis. Waste analysis is applicable in manufacturing, service, and office environment. Waste waste takes many forms, can be found at any time and in any place. There are many classifications of wastes are there. Inventory, transportation, movement, overproduction, skill, defects, waiting, overprocessing. That is type 1, type 2. Mori, space, research, resources, energy, pollution. Capitalization, capitalization, management method, man, material, quantity, safety, 5 MOQs. Wisdom. A waste can be described by the Japanese word Muda. Muda is any activity that consumes resources without creating the value to the customer. Many of these activities can be eliminated immediately throughout the Kaizen event. So Muda is closely related to three pronouns. Muri. The three ambiguous. Three ambiguous question. Muda. Consuming resources without creating the value to the customer. Example including mistakes that requires correction. Muda. Unawareness, fluctuation and variation in the operation. Example including asking someone to do three tasks and another to do 10 tasks. Muri, overburden of the people or equipment resulting it is safety and quality problems. Example, including asking one to operate at 30% capacity. That image that is Muda, Muri, Muda, no waste. So practically it is recommended to reduce process variation first Mura and then eliminate Muri and Muda forms of waste. Practically it is recommended to reduce the process variation first Mura and then eliminate Muri and Muda forms of waste. So one of the most basic and widely used models across many industries around the world is 80 waste. Categorizing waste into these eight forms make them easier to identify and helps identify priorities for the action. The seven waste we have been introduced by the teacher who is one of the developer of the Toyota production system. In the 1990s, the seven waste have been changed in the eight waste with the emergency category for waste on waste skill. It can also be applied in many other areas, not just like manufacturing. The most important objective of the Toyota production system has been to increase production efficiency by consistently and thoroughly eliminating waste. Waste analysis, the eight waste, unnecessary transportation, the unnecessary movement of the items or information from one place to another place. Waiting occurs anytime a person or product is waiting. Overproduction, creating too much material or information. Defects or error mistake, causing the effort to be redone to correct the problems. Unnecessary movement of performed by people that is not required. Excess inventory, having more materials or information that what actually needed. Processing more than necessary to produce desired output. Unuseful. Wasting human talent, creativity and enthusiasm. The an easy way to remember these 80 types of waste in with the following acronyms. Wanted, T moves and a downtime. T moves or downtimes. T moves or downtimes. Unnecessary transportation, the unnecessary movement of product, material, supplies or information from one place to another place. It is normally the result of a poor system design, ineffective layout, or multiple resources or destinations. Unnecessary transportation, moving thing cost money, causes production and delivery delay, and may include the risk of loss or damages. It is clearly visible in low fashion production lines, where work in process and finished goods are paused from one area to another. Then unnecessary transportation. While a product is being transported, it is not being worked on, and no value is being added to it. So many companies now require them supplier to close in order to eliminate transportation costs. Unnecessary transportation examples: storing raw material far away from production line, storing raw material far away from production line, having a raw material storage area, the loading area at opposite end, moving patient from department to department. An unnecessary transportation example: storing office supplier far away from the office area, moving document from approval or seeking authorization, moving information through electronic medical record or EMR in a medical center. Idea to reduce or eliminate unnecessary transportation. Find way to reduce the distance between the work area. Try to transport in bulk and in both directions. Relocate item to be closer to where the work is performed. Introduce standard sequence for transportation. Then the second waste is unnecessary movement. Unnecessary movement. Wasted motion or excess of motion refers to the movement performed by people that is not required and will not add value to the product or service. This waste is normally the result of poor workplace layout design or poor ergonomic design. Then waste analysis, unnecessary movement. While moving material and product from one location, while moving materials and product from while moving materials and product from one location to another is a transportation waste, and the unnecessary movement of people and tools during the production process it is a movement waste. Unnecessary movement not only it consumes time and it use of the energy, but it may also increase health and safety issue and can affect reliability of production, reliability of operation. An unnecessary movement examples: moving too much or traveling further than necessary to accomplish a task, having to walk back and forth to get tools during maintenance, having to bend or twist because of poor ergonomic design, manual intervention to compensate for lack of flow, unnecessary movement of people. Examples: carrying paperwork back and forth between two locations far away from each other, placing printer and photocopiers far away from office, having many and unnecessary points of customer contact in a bank. Then idea to reduce or eliminate waste movement. Evaluate the flow evaluate the flow and layout to identify chances to streamline the process, relocate the required tools at the point of use, improve workplace ergonomics, implement time and motion principle. And one more waste is waiting. Refers to the idle time that occurs when there are unnecessary delay within the process. In the traditional process, large part of the product's life is spent waiting to be worked on. Waiting occurs when a product is not in transport or being processed, or when a person is waiting for a work or service to get completed. That cost time and money. Waiting. Anytime a person or a product is waiting, there is no value being added, lead times are increased, wasted time is transferred to the wasted time is transferred to the customer through increased cost. Waiting examples. Waiting examples. Waiting for material, parts, inspection, decision, approval, or people. Waiting for maintenance department to repair a breakdown. Waiting for a changeover to be completed. Waiting for a slow machine to operate. Waiting for a preceding operator to complete his or her work. Waiting example. A customer waiting for a service, waiting in line at a grocery store, waiting for a meeting to start, arriving an hour early for a meeting, waiting for a return call when the person said he would call back immediately, experiencing poor computer performance. Waiting examples. Waiting in the doctor waiting room. Waiting in the doctor waiting room. Waiting for a lab results. Emergency department waiting time. Wait time. Idea to reduce eliminate waiting. Observe what keeps people waiting. Measure waiting time and make it visible. Allocate more resources at the bottleneck area to increase their capabilities. Improve schedule and coordination. First analysis. Excess of inventory. Excess of inventory is having more materials or information than what is actually needed. Some inventory is necessary, but most process can be managed different to minimize inventory. Then excess of inventory. What will happen? Take up valuable parking space, creates the needed for more manpower and equipment, ties of money that can be used elsewhere, has a significant impact on working capital and operational cost, slow down production, may hide problems such as line imbalance and quality defects. Inventory can be Inventory can be raw materials, work in process, finished goods, marrow goods, packing materials, reports and manuals, office supplies, merchandise inventory. Let's see that image one raw materials, work in progress, finished good. The inventory is a harder to see. Inventory is harder to see in an office or transactional environment. Inventory in the office can be office supplies, physical reports, manual that are not immediately required. Inventory examples: keeping more materials than needed, storing raw materials ahead of requirement, expire and obsolete inventory, held for inspection inventory, poor workspace organization in a warehouse. Poor workspace organization in a warehouse or office. Inventory examples. Achieving a document that are not required and will never be used in the future. Storing computer programs that will never be used or hard drives. Keeping outdated and duplicated files. Giving people documentation they will never needed. Unneeded and spam emails. Idea to reduce, eliminate inventory, keep track on inventory level, reduce unnecessary safety stock, avoid buying in bulk unless you are sure you will use all of it, applying the line balancing and conversion. Then another waste is overproduction. Overproduction. Producing greater quantities or making more of something than required by the customer. Producing greater quantities or making more of something than is required by the customer. Overproduction is thought to be the worst of the eight as it creates other types of waste. Overproduction occurs when making things before they are required, making things before they are required, early production, producing greater quantities than what customer demand. A process produces more than what the next process can use right away. Waste analysis. Overproduction increases lead times, consumes more materials, promotes a batch and queue system, hide quantity problems, may prevent other activity from taking place. Overproduction examples. Creating parts or information not needed by the downstream process, producing faster than the downstreaming process or customer demand, pushing rather than pulling parts and information, producing information that will never be used or sending report that will never looked at. Overproduction examples. Printing multiple versions of the same publication, hoping that will distribute all, making a meal, making a meal that restaurant customer don't want, buying vegetable for 1 month on your weekly shopping trip, performing a work which is not needed and before it is needed. Idea to reduce, eliminate overproduction. Produce only what customer want and when they want it. Produce as close to the schedule as possible. Incomplete pull and convey. Overprocessing. Processing beyond what the customer requires and providing more valuable than what he or she is willing to pay for. It occurs when you work on the process more than necessary. Overprocessing may result from complex processes, poor product or service design, unclear requirement and tolerance, internal standards that do not reflect true customer requirement. Overprocessing examples. Painting area that will never be seen, that are expert to that or corrosion, using tools that are more precise, using the wrong tool, working on the wrong part, completing report in level of detail that is not required, steering a mixed pop-up steering a mixed pop-up copy. Overprocessing examples. Duplication of work and filling multiple forms with repeated data, reinventing the wheel or repeating work which has been done, bureaucratic approval system that requires multiple review and signature, unnecessary tests, diagnostic and therapies for a patient. Overprocessing example. How many bolts are there? Idea to reduce, eliminate over processing. Find way to do less or to use less. Uh, with every task, try just to it once. With every document, try to just touch it once. Provide clear standard for every process. Then another waste is defects and errors. Defective output occurs when the product or service does not serve the purchase purpose it was created for. Occurs when the product or service does not serve the purpose it was created for. So when the process does not complete perfectly right the first time, it is the most obvious waste and the easiest to relate. Defects and errors. Whenever a defect occurs during a production process, extra costs are incurred as a result of scrapping or reworking in defective products. And if it is passed on the customer, additional costs are incurred as a result of customer return and negative reputation. Defective and error. Defective are caused by error in the process, which is normally caused by man method. Defects are caused by the error in the process, which is normally caused by the man method, materials, and machine. Defects and error examples. A manufacturing fault part that requires rework need to be scrapped. Help for inspection product. Producing the wrong part or producing the wrong product. Delivering a product to the wrong destination. Not on time in fully delivery. Defects and error examples. Any rework activity including repair. Any rework activity including repair, recheck, return, reorder, replace. Misdiagnosis in the healthcare industry. Duplicate medical records number. Dealing with guest complaint in hotel. Example of the defects and error. Typos and spelling mistake in a cover letter resume, misspelled verbs, missing information or incorrectly completing an application, customer receives the wrong service or nothing at all. Idea to reduce, eliminate defects or error. Find where the errors occurs by collecting data, analyze root causes, solve the problems as early as possible, avoiding multitasking and mind wandering. And another waste is unused human skill. The IT waste can be described as several ways. Unused creativity, wasted idea and talent, untapped human potential. Not using the potential and creative of employee, not involving them is a waste. Unused human skill. Organization employ people for the specific skills they possess, and it is wasteful not taking advantage of their any other skills and capabilities. Engage people and exploit their skills to solve everyday problems. Many companies now realize that the biggest asset are their employees. It is not biggest asset are their employee. It is not only by exploiting the idea and skill of employee that companies can reduce other types of waste and improve their performances. Then example of unused human skill. When the employees are not effectively engaged in the process, when the employees are not effectively engaged in the process, when the right person is not available at the right place, when the person performing the work is overqualified. Idea to reduce, eliminate unused human skill. Making the most of the brainstorming and other idea gathering techniques. Implement an idea system and encourage employee to make them improvement suggestions. Ensure that the idea and suggestion are well heard. Show respect and confidence for all by letting them solve their daily problems as owners, then all form of waste can be present in the service environment and office as well as the production area. Example, re-entering data, duplication, manual checking, data error, typos and misspelling. There are other form of waste beyond the IT waste. Waste spaces, as the customer will not pay for capital waste, throwing money at problem instead of addressing the real root cause. Wasted energy, a hidden share cost pollution. The producer is increasingly being made to pay for it. Unclear communication roles, responsibilities, authority, and a lack of training, motivation, and empowerment. Excessive resources, as they only increase their cost and add no value. Capital waste or wasted money examples. Renting a warehouse to store extra inventory, hiring an inventory control clerk or an operator to repair damaged inventory, buying a forklift for each forklift driver. The 80 waste in an analysis tool. It is not enough to just identify the waste. Eliminating them is one of the fundamental objectives of lean. The countermeasures planning and implementation should include the environmental or relevant parties. Tools and techniques to identify and eliminate waste. Lean provides the required methodology, tools and techniques. Waste work and Canva work, opportunity process map, waste recording forms and waste log, regular improvement meetings, types and visual management, value matrix, value stream mapping, targeted Kaizen event, team-based problem solving. Waste work enables to understand how the process works and helps to quickly identify waste and continuous improvement opportunities. Waste work. It is highly encouraged to regularly work the process and look for opportunity to reduce waste and make improvement. Observe the process with an eye towards the waste. How to conduct a waste work. Clearly describe the objective of the conducting the waste work. Select the process and area. Define the boundaries. Prepare an observation prompt to collect the desired information. Get permission from the process owner or supervisor to conduct the work and talk to the people there. How to conduct a waste work. Work the flow of the process and look for each of the eight type of waste. Collect data and observe actual practices. Interviewing people and ask questions. Identify opportunity to eliminate waste. Prioritize improvement action as appropriate. Waste recording forms and waste logs helps identify and record wasteful activities. Usually contains a place to classify the waste according to the weight waste. May also contain a place that encouraging the team to propose the prioritize the action. Remember the eight kind of waste are the workplace and offices. Waste creates no value and costs a lot of money. Further information. The more visual you make a process, the more visible the waste tends to become. Learning to see the waste is an essential skill that you must develop within your team. Further information. Another method is using the 5 quiz model, which is useful to understand the root causes: man, machine, material, man, method, material, message management, quality and safety. Further improvement. It is good to think in terms of the 80 waste or 5 QMS. However, does it really matter which category to assign to? Waste of material and parts, searching waste, waste of large machine, waste in management, control and higher standard, waste in inspection and quality control, waste in meeting, waste of jigs and tools, waste of unused spaces, waste made by breakdown, waste of changeover, waste of risk management method, waste in making error and mistakes. Do you have any of the below issue in your idea? Time waste looking for things, poor safety record, reward, escalating operating cost, material shortages, incomplete information, incorrect information, underutilized employee, inconsistent employee performance, irreliable suppliers performance, high employee turnover, measure of the performance are not clear, late of miss delivery, quality is responsibility of quality personnel, dissatisfied customer. Then common causes of the waste. Misunderstanding of customer true needs. Variability in the process or machinery. Pressure to maximize production to justify expensive equipment or technology cost. Outdated or inappropriate policies. Lack of training. Poor management. Staff relation. So this is all about for me in the waste analysis. So everybody will listen in carefully. So thank you. In the conclusion, waste elimination is a fundamental principle of the lean manufacturing. By continuously identifying and removing non-value-added activities, companies can improve efficiency, reduce cost, and achieve operational excellence. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and more of the lean manufacturing and industrial topic. So thank you so much. And this is my part 5 video. So what is waste management and control? And how to control in waste management? That video I will explain. So let's take water waste. Water waste. Then first definition of waste. Definition of waste. Material which are disposed of are intended to be disposed of are called waste. Material which are disposed of and are intended to be disposed of are called waste. Any type of substance that is not required by the individual or group of people for the set of purpose. It can also be described as per the leftover material after its purpose is over. Then kind of waste. Solid waste, waste in the solid form, example, burn, solid waste, waste in the solid form, burn, clothes, use hand gloves, packing material, food item, glass item, paper, scrap iron, dust, etc. Liquid waste, waste in liquid form, waste cutting oil, waste hydraulic oil, waste water, etc. Then classification of waste. Biodegradable waste that can get converted to soil over a period of time. Regaining natural properties can be degraded. Pepper, wood, fruits. Non-biodegradable waste that cannot regain their natural properties are termed as non-biodegradable substance, or the waste that takes a huge amount of time to degrade, cannot be degraded, or some waste cannot be degraded. plastic bottles, can, styrofoam, container, glass, etc. And the classification of waste. Hazardous waste. Classification of hazardous waste. Substances unsafe to use can substances unsafe to use can create health problems to living being and environment and requires a special attention to dispose. Chemical, medical waste, oil soap, cotton waste, paints. Hazardous waste, substances unsafe to use, can create health problems to living beings and environment, and require special attention to dispose. Chemicals or medical waste, oil soap, cotton waste, pets. Non-hazardous substances safe to use, has no ill effect on the living beings and the environment, easy to dispose, food waste or paper waste. Waste generation by country. Waste generation by country. Every country shall generate by waste. I think India will be highest. So India will the period of degraded period. How many takes it will degrade to the in sand or salt. Sand. Glass water, I think 1 million years. Plastic water, 450 years. Aluminum can 8 to 20, 8 to 100 years. But waste will take more time. Then effects of waste affect our health, affect our immunity, affect our environment, affect our climate. Waste is not good to us, not to environment. What can be done? Can manage and control how? Waste management and control. Reduce waste. First one is reduce waste. Reduce office paper waste by moving towards paperless office. Improve product design to use less materials. Redesign packing to eliminate excess material. Eliminate use of food. Work with customer to design and implement recycle packing. Reuse coolant. Improve life. Use desirable towels and tablecloth, napkins, dishes, cap and glasses. Encourage employees to reuse office material rather than purchase new one. Waste management and control. Prevent waste. Packing waste reduction, material reduction, optimum use of water and coolant, avoid spillages or contamination, improve life. So reuse, waste management and control. Reuse. Go for the longer life materials. No dead. Segregation at source. Three-bin system. Dirty coolant tank. Fast to treatment plant. Awareness training to employee. Visual boards. Action to waste. Getting wet. Wet to dry. Institutionalize 5 years. Segregation at source. Three-bin system. Segregation at source. Three-bin system. Source and internet and control. Paradigm shift from scrapyard to waste management. Control scrapyard material dumping area. Control waste management and control see that image. Control waste management and control waste management. So waste management and control. So well balanced will be the one dashboard I will create on hazardous waste. Then hazardous waste then control. This area you should be proud to show to outsider. then visual controls, then waste management and controls, SIT, waste collection, storage and disposal guidelines. Some words to remember, some words to remember, clean up and flourish or pile up and polish. A company is only as clean as its dirtiest area. The best way to keep shop clean is not dirty them in the first place. Handle waste once only. Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation. And this is the end of video. So thank you so much.